Hello people, this is MadRhombus here, working on my probably the first video after the group introduction, unless I decide to change it otherwise. I thought I'd start with something a bit easy, a game that I'm familiar with, been playing for quite a while. It's not necessarily the most... I wouldn't say it's not action-packed, but it's not really... It's not a guided game, it's not got a sort of a defined story to it. The story's sort of trickle-fed over in-game news posts, various patches, and stuff that the community has generally dug up out in the black, so to speak, as one of the phrases is used in Elite Dangerous for space. So this is more of a getting to know me kind of thing, rather than featuring the game, because this game's been out for a while. There's tons of people that's videoed it, but this is something that I'm comfortable with, so this is where I'm starting. So yeah, I'm playing Elite Dangerous with a... you'll hear me say random things to nobody. I'm saying that to a piece of software called Voiceattack, which has another thing added into it called a HCS voice pack, which is a voice pack which will take and respond to specific commands for Elite Dangerous. And the particular one that I've got also has commands for Star Citizen. I don't have Star Citizen yet, but I plan to at some point, so I thought it was a good idea to pick up at some point. And it makes the game a whole lot more immersive. It's like having your own Star Trek like computer kind of thing. It's... I don't know, I just like it. It even has some like Star Trek Easter eggs in it, so and other space franchises. I love all that sort of thing. Any show with sort of star in the name, I've watched it, and I most likely love it. So to start off, let's get going. Let's see if I can remember the voice command, because it's been a little while. I might have to open up the PDF. Departure handover.
Initiating. Fortifying shields. Engines online. Launching now. Ascending. Retracting modules. Handing you the con.
I love it. Great. Not too fast. Whilst pretty agile for its size, it's still a bit of a pain to fit sometimes. What's that? Okay, start off with, I'm on my way to a community goal to blow some shit up, basically, since that's nice and easy. It's here. Earn rewards by handing in bounty fudges at a chorus station in the Kale system. Get a nice lump sum there. Okay, let's get going. Open system. No. Excuse me.
System map.
No! That's the sort of thing this thing does. Open galaxy map.
Displaying map.
Okay. Where is the cube? Don't have any map data on it. Shouldn't be a problem. System jump.
Preparing for jump.
Oh, next moment, okay, I'll show you a Star Trek Easter egg. With this voice back.
Hyperspace velocity reached.
I'll include a link in the description
Exit
to this
destination confirmed.
voice attack and
Arrival in 5, 4,
voice attack.
3, 2, 1.
For voice attack and the HCS fest. HCS. I'll include a link in the description about the HCS voice pack and the voice attack software needed to. So didn't picking it up. It's so worth it. They've got. They've actually got a couple of big time actors. John Delancey. I'm terrible at names. The person that plays Data in Star Trek. He's got one. William Shatner. So many others as well. This, I think, is them kind of their in-house one. It's not made by anyone. I don't think so. I'd have to have a look at the voice credit for this. But I chose this one because it's the most frequently updated one. But I was really tempted by John Delancey's one because his one's just great. It's just full of sass. It's great. Oh, I didn't show you the. Right. I think it's pretty lenient on the command. If I remember it. Engage warp drive.
Warp drive engaging.
Which just initiates a jump. But it's cool that he responds to that. Pretty dope. So yeah, I've been playing this game for probably about a year now, I think. Initially I was like, I'll hold off. I was gonna sort of save myself for Star Citizen as gonna be my go-to space game, but it's gonna, like, God, if it ever comes out, it'll be amazing. But I could like be playing the modules of it that's been released so far, but I don't really want to sort of burn myself out on it before it's released. However long that's gonna take. So I'm kind of just keeping clear of it. But in the meantime, though, a friend begged me to get this game, and I did, and I haven't really regretted it since. it just feels that it scratches that itch. Like I like space. I used to have a telescope when I was little. I kind of regret getting rid of it, but watch documentaries on it. Watch collect pictures of various phenomenon. It's just, I'm kind of sad we're set in a time, really, that we can't explore it. Really? Was born like 500 years in the future. I mean, that's assuming that fast and light travel even becomes possible. Einstein says it isn't. But maybe we'll figure out something that we didn't know before. That's how science generally goes. And I need to scoop some fuel. Distracted and getting it pretty low, which is a bit stupid, because I could end up in a star that's not scoopable without enough fuel to jump away, and I'm getting too hot. Deploy heatsink.
Deploying heat sink.
Bit of a waste of heatsink, but I don't expect having to use them like anytime soon. I'm currently in solo play just so I don't get like messed with right now, but we'll definitely be did that, but there'll definitely be time. We'll definitely have sessions in open play, that's for sure. So yeah, I've got a ultra wide 21:9 by monitor. I've got a Acer Predator X34, so that's why the aspect ratio is a bit weird for those of you with 16:9 monitors. If you full screen it, you'll probably notice the black bars. So I apologise for that. That's just the way this is recorded. I can record in 1080p, but some of I'm gonna have some of my videos in this aspect ratio, just for the niche market of. There's gonna, in the off chance we have some viewers that are in also fellow ultra wide owners.
Frameshift drive charging.
Off we go. How many more jumps have we got? Won't tell me whilst we're in transit. Keep forgetting that. So yeah, I've been playing this for a while. Obviously, as you can see, for those that know the game, this is an Anaconda that I'm flying. Honestly, when I started and I saw the costs of these ships, I didn't think I'd ever get that far. I thought I just saw. To be honest, I was happy with that. As long as I got a half-decent ship I could fly around in space, I was happy. But eventually, it just came up yeah, I could manage it. And now I have a half-decent Anaconda. It's not, by any means, like, fully upgraded. There's some modules that I still need to save up some credits for. And I haven't unlocked all of the engineers who can help min-max certain aspects of your subsystems of your ship and push the envelope with it, so to speak. I've done some though to the FDL, the normal drives, thrusters. Pretty much everything with that little hexagon icon has been engineered. Can't quite remember all of what I changed on them. Except the thrusters are faster and the FTO has greater range. I think I can squeeze almost 60 light years in the jump range when it's like fully lightweight build. This is a pretty heavyweight build at the moment, and it's got 27.82 light year jump, which is pretty good.
Frameshift drive charging.
You can get almost any civilized space within 10 jumps, I think. Also known as the bubble of civilized space, because let's not have, because this is all in real time. If I go into the star map, nothing stops, so I'll eventually fly into the sun. So, system map. Open galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
If we so-called the bubble of civilized space, because kind of looks like a bubble, or a weird, grotesque kind. Kind of looks like a virus or something. This is space we're in at the moment. So it's full of hippies. Final jump. I have flown this thing all the way, well, not this ship in particular, but I have shown my previous ship, which is an Astral Explorer, all the way to the core and back. Saw Sagittarius A star. Giant space butthole, basically. I think there's a way of showing where I've been, where I haven't. Let's just stop engines. Stop engines.
Stop all thrusters.
Doesn't always get it first time. Most of the time it does. It's like 80%. I just made that up. But it feels like it. Let's see. Sure that's a way of seeing. Visited stars. It's a bit too far. It only shows a certain like radius around you. Basically, I've been playing this a while, and there are a lot of blue visited, red not visited, as it's shown on the side there, and there are so many. It's a to scale unit like galaxy, so it'll probably take. So would it take somebody a lifetime to visit all of these stars? Probably. Not necessarily. Pretty much all of these, most of these bookmarks I've visited. I haven't been over here, but been to the core. I haven't been here. Into the core, back. Kind of a rite of passage for budding explorers. New exit. Right, let's see if we can find some. We could blow up the Welling barge. That's right. I'm supposed to go. Let's head. Gas giants with rings are the best place to look for pirates. They often have resource extraction zones that end up, for those that don't know, any player of this will know this, but a lot of pirates hang around in the resource extraction zones preying on the NPC ships extracting the minerals from the asteroids in the rings. I should be able to see. Ooh, there's a conflict zone. Hazardous is where the big game is at. The pirates often fly in groups and have like up to elite level. When it comes to NPCs, you can kind of gauge the how difficult they're going to be and how well upgraded their ship is going to be by their combat level, which it will show you. It will show you when you scan them. NPCs not so much. Player characters not so much, because it's less of a showing of skill / upgrading as and more showing of how much stuff that they've blown up. But for NPCs, it's a good gauge of how tough they're going to be. I can pretty much comfortably take on any NPCs. It's kind of kitted out for bounty hunting right now. Leave a chatter going on there. I think that's some of the older chatter in the game, the NPC chatter. So many like people getting cold feet in weddings, it's insane. Here we go. Got ourselves ready. Deploy the fighter.
Stand by for launch. Launch.
Solid copy. Deploying the fighter.
As you can see, a lot of these
Okay.
voice commands are just bound to pre-recorded,
Fighter deployed.
like a macro,
Standing by.
if you will.
Acknowledged.
You can do custom ones, but all of these ones in the HCS voice pack and the ones I've been demonstrating are pre-programmed in. There's pretty much a command to do pretty much everything except, like fly the ship in the direction that you.
Scan detected.
Am I getting scanned by? Usually it's to do that. Big lunch. Weapons can be either or. Let's get in on this. Let's go scan him for even more money. Not that hacking always is nice. I love the attention to detail on all of these ships. It honestly look like Frontier Developments is like. I mean, look at that. It's sexy AF. Shame to blow it up, but needs must. My fighter should automatically start attacking anything that attacks me, so as soon as he fires back, it should go attack as well.
Under attack. Warning. Thermal attack. Gaining heat.
Put some into shields to tank some of this. It's coming my way a bit more. I'm going to hold off on my beam laser because that drains a lot of energy. The multi-cannon should be able to tear through this nicely though. Yes, I am a gimbal noob. I do have some railguns that I use on this in case chaff or other countermeasures are used.
Target dispatched.
But it is sometimes hard to bring them to bear. And a couple of turrets on it as well. Just as a pea shooter. Because a big ship like this, it should have weapons that can fire in all directions. It feels like it should, regardless of whether it's optimal or not. Power to weapons.
Power to weapons.
Let's get some... This guy's getting a little bit annoying. Fine, stuck with. Next hostile. Next hostile.
Next hostile selected.
If I don't pause after I'm saying something, Voiceattack won't necessarily pick it up.
Target shields offline. Scan detected.
And tear him up.
Target down. I think that's it, Commander. Scanning for additional
Speaking of
threats.
attention to detail, did you see all of the like bullet holes and scorch marks on that hull before it exploded? That's what I...
Scan detected.
just love it. There isn't necessarily like a lot of direction to this game, but
Scan detected.
it does look really nice. Delete. Bounty do you have, sir? It's okay. Expecting a bit more. Let's see, scanner changes that.
Scan detected.
Didn't change it at all. Oh well. Attack Protocol Alpha.
Attack Protocol Alpha.
Fire everything! Ah, he's a chap. He's a chaffer. Yeah. Try and get as much volleys of my gimbaled weapons in between his chaff as possible. I'm not the steadiest hand though. Ah, suck! Ah, God fucking damn it. It's so annoying sometimes. It annoys me because it helps them survive longer than they should. It's dead. Sometimes they take a little while to explode.
Threat neutralized. We live to fight another day, Commander.
Yeah, despite these railguns being of the smallest size class of weapons, their damage is, their DPS is really high. Like, I think a pair of them that I've got mounted on the underside, I think they equal or maybe surpass my beam lasers DPS. Yeah, look. That is the biggest size class of weapon. Yeah. Class 4. It's a beam laser. That will tear through almost any shields unless you come across prismatic, which I've never seen an NPC have. So, prismatic shields, that is. That's a special kind of endgame shield that's not only really tough in general in terms of hit points, it's also, unlike the usual, doesn't have the usual weakness to energy weapons or thermal weapons that ordinary shields do. In fact, it's resistant to it. I can't remember if it still has the same. I can't remember if that sacrifices the kinetic resistance that shields naturally have. I think it does, but I think it still has some kind of resistance. It's not as high, but still has some. On that timeline. That timeline. Save it. F it, let's try. Attack my target.
Weapons free. Engage the
Got
target.
the target on my scanner.
Yeah, I have a fighter bay attached to this. That's those yellow beam lasers you can see. That's the fighter firing.
Confirmed kill. Threat neutralized.
I trained this guy up
Provide
from
another
novice,
take,
so
Commander.
he's in his master now, so he's pretty good and also cheaper than like what he would be if he's bought. I think your highest you can buy is expert. Two. Even though my shields aren't quite full yet, I'm pretty. I'm a fan of pretty much anything spacey. What's it? Anything, any show with star in the name. Star Wars for film, Star Trek, Stargate. Stargate's one of my all-time favourites. Probably second only to Star Trek. I need to kind of be paying attention to what my weapon capacitor's like. I do plan on getting a VR to play
Target
that
dispatched.
Bridge Command game, because that looks absolutely amazing. You know, if you've ever watched Star Trek or a show like it, you always imagine yourself being the captain or one of the bridge crew, and that just sounds so fun to me. Sorry about that. That picked up. That was my phone. Okay, silencer. That won't happen again. Like I said, first recording on my own, so some slack, guys. Had 2 anacondas. They're not together, are they? Which one of you is worth more? Scan and have a look. Somebody shooting at me? Why am I being attacked? Oh, whatever. Oh, that's the friend of the guy that I attacked before. That's right. I don't really care that much about it. With my laser turrets and fighter, it doesn't stand a chance against it. So it's surprisingly strong. It's really squishy, but it's pretty much like a glass cannon. Ooh, hoo, hoo. You're a bad boy. I kind of don't want to fight. See, put it out with. Kind of want my shields to be higher. But let's fly on the
Shields are
silver
down the hill.
pass.
Need to get out of the firing line, Commander.
Fire shields regenerate really quick. Tiny capacity. Okay, attack protocol Alpha.
Target dispatched. We're in the clear, Commander.
Sorry, I had to pause. Attack protocol Alpha.
Attack Protocol Alpha.
There we go. Get the runs. Spin up them. There we go. Oh, good God. This might have been a mistake. Deploy chaff.
Deploying chaff.
Attack protocol Charlie.
Attack Protocol Charlie.
Might just get him in a ram block and just keep firing. Let's see if at this range it doesn't matter if I can't fucking look on. Let's back off a little.
Shields offline.
Down he goes. Ooh,
Target
that's
down.
nice. Didn't take too much damage there. Power to shields and engines.
Redistributing.
I have a bi-weave shield generator, so this should regenerate faster than the standard one. The way the shield regeneration works in this game is it's directly related to how much capacity. So the higher the capacity, the slower they regenerate. So I've seen that they tweaked this a few months ago, so it wasn't as obnoxious, but it did sometimes take a full 10 minutes for shields to fully recharge. But they tweaked it so that they regenerate faster outside of combat now. I can't quite remember what the rates were, but it's quite noticeable. I think this guy might be. I'll wait for my shields to regenerate and blow him up too. Sideways.
Shields online.
I didn't change my tool. That go down a little. Scanner made you more good somehow. Deploy chaff. Oh god, plasma
Deploying
accelerator.
chaff.
Seems like he has chaff on his own. I've really got souped up shields on it, this thing, so... they can really take a punch.
Shields offline.
He should be.
Target destroyed. I think that's it, Commander. Scanning for additional threats.
If you're looking to get into this game and you are a bit worried about the grind of getting to like a decent ship, a good way to sort of get a bit ahead of the curve is there's a few things you want to look for. You want to look for a res zone like this, except you want to go for the one level down. It will say resource high. I mean, there's a pretty big game in there, and what you want to do is generally wait for the big game to pick a fight. This is a bit of a sleazy coward's way of doing it, but if you just want to make some quick, easy cash, you wait for them to pick a fight. Those zones, any zone except hazardous, has system authority, like police, and they will then intervene and attack this person. And then, as long as you join in, as long as you get some shots in, you'll get the bounty reward. So, you could be in a Cobra taking down an Anaconda with the help of the police and getting the full bounty.
Shields online.
So you could be getting... there'll be a little bit less than what you just saw, so around about 200k, I'd say, for an Anaconda, between 150 and 200k. And... I mean, even if you do that in the start winder, that's like a Viper Mark III straight away. Massive upgrade. A couple more of them, and actually, I think a Cobra's 300k, so a couple more of them, and you've got a Cobra. And then sort of branch out from there about what you want to do. Now here's something. I should let the voice commands do it. Actually, I don't know the voice command for it, so come on.
I'm on it, Commander.
Look at me. I am the incredibly agile fighter now. I think this is officially the most maneuverable ship in the game, this fighter here, the GU-97, I think it's called, Imperial Fighter. It's not the fastest in a straight line, but it definitely has the highest pitch and yaw and roll rates of any vessel. You can only have it with a fighter bay though, so unfortunately it's not despite it looking really small, it's not something you can jump straight into at the start of the game. Unless you buddy up with a friend who has a large ship. and you can use the multi-crew system to join his ship, and you can get in his fighter whilst he flies the actual ship normally. There's no one. Unfortunately, navigation in this is a bit limited, so I'm not quite sure if I'm... let's just head towards that. Not the fastest in a straight line, but still pretty fast. Assault ship. Ooh, that's pretty scary. They have a lot of weapons. Pretty tough. Not for my Anaconda, but for this, probably. Let's give it a go. Deploy heatsink.
Heatsink deployed.
Looks like he only has scatter cannons. Yeah, he only had scatter cannons, so that just looks like just bounced straight off the shields. Look onto running really cold. The way you can detect things in this, the way that like sort of radar / sensors work is heat based. If they run really cold, you're going to struggle to get a lock on them. Like I could see him visually, but he had no marker around him, so these sensors weren't picking him up, and I couldn't lock onto him. He was running so cold, he probably popped a heatsink. Do that. You can do that to hide from people to a certain extent. They, within a certain range, there's a guarantee to get a lock on. Oh, no.
Shields offline.
I just stood in front of him, and then that's silly of me. Wasn't paying attention. Take about a minute for a new fighter to be ready. I think it's quite vacant. 6 of them. One down. Yeah, there is a certain proximity where you're guaranteed to get a lock. I can't quite remember what it is. I think it depends on your level of sensors. But you can use it to hide from other players to a certain degree. They show up as sort of like a unresolved signature on the radar, which sort of just like wobbles around. You're not able to get a lock on it. It's like you know something's there, but you don't know what it is. How far you actually have to be away from them to drop off the radar completely depends on how good their sensors are. What's this? Ah! My pilot got pilot promoted. God, he's the same rank I am now. I haven't even ranked, and he's gone all the way from like novice to... No, in fact, harmless all the way to dangerous. As you can see, Explorer by heart. I like to see the sights. My friend, a lot of my friends call me like insane because, like, they say, "Don't you get bored? Like flying around, just basically jumping from system to system, and sometimes I do. A lot of the time I just have Netflix playing, but I like just flying through the space. I don't know, it just has an appeal. To me. There's a fair few others as well. There's a whole Explorer community on Elite Explorer. They post their pretty sites, and usually the Asp Explorer in front of things. Since the Asp, it's a relatively cheap Explorer type vessel. Won't lose just in case something bad. Unfortunately, I haven't had any encounters with the aliens that are recently been. It's a kind of a Game of Thrones, like winter is coming kind of vibe. We know the aliens are coming, and we know they're probably gonna fuck our shit up, but it's slowly they're coming. So far, they've popped up in hyperspace encounters. Encounters around the like barnacle structures, as they're called, and there's been a couple of what appears to be alien bases, giant like Leviathan like moors, fossilized into like planet's surface, and people have went into them and found some interesting stuff. Like, honestly, the lengths to people to go to uncover stuff is amazing. I wish I had the patience for it, and I would have joined in, but so far I've just been visiting the places after they've been discovered and having a look around. Anyway guys, I think I'm going to call it there for now, and I hope to see you again soon.